Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Mm, so, the previous class, what was the topic which we discussed? Parts of a
Table.
table. Okay, so there are various parts for the table. I just want you to refresh that. What are the parts of table? The first part. Pranav, can you say
Table number.
table number? What do you mean by the table number? How it should be given?
It is used for identification purpose.
If there are more table, how you will identify?
We will use that 4.5.
Yeah, subscripted. We will be using subscripted numbers for that. And where it is given, there is a place where we are giving the number. Is it on the left side, right side, top, bottom?
Top.
Okay, top of the table, we can see the table number. Okay, Rahul, can you say the second one?
Title.
Title. What does that mean? And how it
It
should be?
shows the content of the table.
Table. It should be
It should be clear and
it should be free from ambiguity. Okay. Third one. Anish, can you say?
Captions or column heading.
Captions or column heading. What do you mean by that?
At the top of each column in a table, column designation is given to identify each
Okay, that
column.
is what we call it as column heading. It is also known as
Captions.
caption. Okay. Next feature or next part of a table, Sanam.
Stubs or row heading.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
It's the in each row of the table has to be given a heading. Heading of a row.
And whatever items are there, what do we call for that?
Stub items. The
Stubs or
designations
stub
of the
item.
rows.
Okay, stubs or stubs item. Okay, next one. Akshay, can you say?
Body of the table.
Body of the table. What do you mean by that body of the table?
It's the body part, main part which contains actual data.
Actual data it is containing, or we can find out the numbers by locating the row and column. Okay, next one. Alan, next part after body of the table. Alan Burgess. Yes. Unmute it and say. Sayuja.
Can you repeat question?
Okay, Alan, we discussed 5 parts of the table. That is first one, table number, title, column heading, row heading, then body of the table. Next, what is remaining? Alan, do you know? Pranav?
Unit of measurement.
Measurement. What is that unit of measurement?
Unit of measurements. It's always with the title.
Along with the title, it will be given. Okay, fine. Next one. Abhilash.
Ma'am, source.
Source. What do you mean by that?
It's written at the bottom of the table and it gives all the information from where we got the data.
From where you got the data. Okay. And the last point, Rahul.
Note.
Note. What is that note?
It explains the specific features of the data.
It explains the specific feature of the data. Okay, so these are the important parts of the table. Now, next one is regarding the diagrammatic presentation of data. So the first one, you saw how the data we are using, then classification, then how we are going to present that data in a diagrammatic form. That is what next topic. Okay, so this is the third method of presenting data. This is a third step in presenting the data. Now, it's a technique of presenting numerical data through the diagrams. So we have numerical data with us that we are presenting through diagrams, that we call it as diagrammatic presentation of data. Okay, there are different methods through which we can represent these diagrams. It can be bar diagram, it can be pie diagram, or it can be frequency diagrams. I will tell you what all these are later on when we explain all these subheadings. Okay, so diagrammatic representation in the sense, it's a technique through which we are presenting the numerical data in the form of diagram, that we call it as diagrammatic presentation of data. There are different ways through which we can present the data. What are the ways? Bar diagram, pie diagram, frequency diagrams. These are the ways through which we can present the data. Now, another one, we say that it is the most attractive and appealing way to represent statistical data. Appealing way in the sense, by seeing the picture itself easily we can understand than by seeing a table. Okay, so easily we can understand by looking at the diagram, or easily we can comprehend by looking at that particular diagram. So that is why we say it is attractive also, it is colorful also, and it is easily understandable. It is the quickest way for understanding the situation, what is given in the data. So this is, if you see, that's what I told you, by looking at the diagram, easily we can understand what is meant by that particular data rather than looking at the table. So these are the important merits of representing data through a diagrammatic manner or through a diagram. It is a method through which we can present the data or numerical data through diagrams. It is most attractive, appealing, and easily we can understand the situation. Sometimes it may be not that accurate like table, but at the same time we say that it is more effective than tables. More accurate, it is not more not like data means sometimes some sort of what do you say, adjustments will be done when it is presented, when the table is presented through the diagram. But even then, this is the most effective way through which they can represent the data. Now, it translates quite effectively the abstract ideas into a concrete one. So because of that reason, we say it is more comprehensible or it is more understandable. Okay, it translates effectively. What are they translating effectively? Abstract numbers are there, abstract ideas are there that can be represented into in a concrete form, especially through the diagram. This is what I said before. It may be less accurate, but it is very, very effective than the tables when we are presenting the data through diagram. Next one. These are the different methods through which we can present a data through a diagram. It can be bar diagram, can be pie chart. Bar diagram itself, you can see different divisions are there. Simple bar diagram, multiple bar diagram, component or subdivided bar diagram. Then frequency diagrams below that, you can see histogram, frequency polygon, ogive. Then last, arithmetic line graph. In your textbook, they have not given about percentage bar diagram, but other three it's given. So below bar diagram, you can see three: simple bar diagram, multiple bar diagram, component bar diagram. Pie chart is also coming as a part of this first one, that is geometric diagram. Okay, so these two, we call it as geometric diagram. Bar diagrams and pie chart will come under geometric diagram. Then frequency diagram, then arithmetic line graph. So what are the different types of diagram you can see below geometric diagram? Ellen Verghese, can you say? What are the
bar diagram,
bar diagram and pie chart? So below bar diagram, you can have three, which are there, which is given in your textbook. The last one, it's not given. So what are the three diagrams which is represented below the bar diagram?
simple bar diagram, multiple bar diagram,
Multiple
or
bar diagram,
subdivided bar diagram.
component or subdivided bar diagram. Okay. Now next one. Different types of diagrams what we are using. These are the three I told you: geometric diagram, frequency diagram, arithmetic line graph. These are the three important diagrams we are using in statistics. Pranav, can you tell what are the three important types of diagrams we are using?
Geometric diagram, frequency diagram, arithmetic line graph.
Arithmetic line graph. Now the first one, geometric diagram. Okay. In this, bar diagram and pie diagram comes, or you can say bar diagram or pie diagram belongs to this category, that is geometric diagram. Now again, bar diagrams, I told that there are three types: simple, multiple, and component. So geometric diagram, below that, two types: bar diagram and pie diagram. Again, subdivision, you can see the bar diagrams, three types are there: simple, multiple, and component bar diagram. Now, bar diagram, it is one dimensional. Okay. And it is only the height of the bar. You might have seen the bar diagram. Okay. So like this, if it will be, one bar will be there. One bar will be there next to that. So we will see the height of the bar, then decide which one is greater or which one is lesser. Like that we will be seeing. We are not seeing the width here. We are not taking into consideration the width here, but height of the bar will be taken into consideration to compare the two frequencies or data presented in that. Next one, first is about bar diagram. Below that, first one comes simple bar diagram. Now the features of bar diagram is given. It is comprising of EQ spaced and equi-width, equally spaced, and it will have equal width. Like that, we can see rectangular bar for each class or category of data. Okay, it will be equi-spaced and equi-width it will be rectangular bar for the data. Whatever data is given, it will be represented through the height of bars what is given. So by seeing the height or length of the bar, we can understand the magnitude of the data. We can understand whether it is higher or whether it is more or whether it is less. That can be understood easily by seeing the height of the data. Now, when we compare the data or when we take this bar diagram, another one feature is given that its base always touches the baseline, and it shows that it is starting from 0 unit. So this is another feature for bar diagram, simple bar diagram. If you see the bar, it will be touching the baseline. It shows that it is starting from the 0 unit. How can we compare this or how can we understand this easily? Bars will be compared by seeing the height, and accordingly we can understand that easily. By seeing the height, we can say that if more height is there, like for example, this is first one, this is second one. By seeing this, we can understand the first one has got more height. So we can say that more people are involved or more numbers are involved in that, or that is having high numbers, high numerical numbers. The other one is smaller. We can compare easily by seeing this picture or by seeing this diagram. Now, whatever data we are using for this, it can be of frequency or non-frequency. I'll tell you what it is. The data for drawing the diagram, it can be of frequency and non-frequency data. So I told you 2-3 features for this simple bar diagram. The first one, it will be equi-spaced and equi-width rectangular bar we can see for each class or category of data. Height will, by seeing the height, we can understand the magnitude of the data, whether it is more or less. And the third one, you can see the lower end of the bar, it always touches the baseline. It shows that it is starting from the 0 unit. We can easily compare by seeing the bars or by seeing their height of the bars, so that it is very easy for us to understand. Now, what kind of data we are using for this? It can be of frequency or non-frequency type. Now, what do you mean by frequency data or non-frequency data? Frequency in the sense, we are seeing how many number of times that value is occurring in the distribution. Frequency data means how many number of times the value is occurring in that particular kind of distribution. Non-frequency data in the sense, we are not taking any number of times here. We are taking that original value for doing the calculation or for showing through the diagram. For example, income of 10 people. Okay, so what you will have income this side, and I mean measurement will be there. So 10 bar will be there, which shows that the income of people. This shows that income of all these 10 people. Okay, so we are not showing any frequency here. We are using the number directly to represent the diagram. That kind of data we call it as non-frequency data. The same thing, it can be used for frequency also. For example, 10 people, we are taking 50, like what do you say, 80, like that numbers we can take. 50 how many times occurred? 2 times. That also can be taken. But here, whenever you are taking frequency of one particular value, how many times it is occurring, that kind of data we call it as frequency data. Whenever we are taking that number itself without taking how many times it is occurring, that will be non-frequency data. And we say that bar diagrams are more convenient to represent the non-frequency data. Here, one example is there given in your textbook. It is related to literacy rate. And they have given, according to the literacy rate, they have given a bar diagram in your textbook. This one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so every state set is given. And what is the literacy rate is given. By saying this, which state has the highest literacy rate? Easily you can find out. Which state has?
Kerala.
Kerala. Okay. Or which state has the least?
Bihar.
Bihar. Okay. So just at a glance, you have to find out which one has got the highest one. Highest one means that state has got the highest literacy. Lowest one, if you check, you can see that this one is the lowest, and you can identify easily that Bihar has got the low literacy rate. So like this information we are providing, we can easily represent through the bar diagram. This is a non-frequency type because that original percentage of literacy they are showing in this. They are not taking any frequency here. Or if I ask you which having more than 85% of literacy, which all states will come? Krishnanuni, can you say?
Gujarat.
Gujarat, okay.
Haryana.
Haryana.
Karnataka.
Karnataka, is it more than 85?
Oh, 85. Okay. Kerala.
Kerala.
Maharashtra. And Tamil Nadu. UK.
Huh?
What is that UK?
What is that UK? Who knows?
Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand. Okay. So these were the states. So easily we can find out according by seeing the height or by seeing the numerical value that this states have or are beyond 85% of literacy, we can say. So it is very why they have given in your textbook this. Easily we can comprehend or understand if the things are represented through the bar diagram. Okay. Now next one. Bar diagrams, I told that it can be used for frequency data also. It can be used for non-frequency, but it is more useful when we represent this non-frequency type. Okay, or it can be represented mainly by using the non-frequency type data here. Discrete variables also can be represented in the sense the whole numbers can be represented easily through the bar diagram. It is very convenient for non-frequency data. Now, one more thing is that this bar, what we are telling, that bars, what you see, that is also known as columns. And these bar diagrams, I told different forms are there. It's not only the simple bar diagram, it can be multiple bar diagram, it can be component bar diagram. I want you to draw a bar diagram. I'll be giving the numbers. Next period, are you free? Or do you have class?
Classes, sir.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
we have class.
Okay. So you can note down this question. So this is number of students in class 11 in 2018. Year is given. Humanities, this many students. Commerce, this many students. And science, this many students. I want you to draw this and keep it, okay? Now you can do it. I hope you know what is x-axis, y-axis, right? Abhilash, can you tell where is x-axis and where is y-axis? Horizontal or vertical one?
Ma'am, x-axis is the horizontal one and y-axis is vertical.
Okay, all of you know, right? So what, where are you going to represent the year? Vertical or horizontal line? Who can say? Or where are you going to represent these numbers?
Ma'am, numbers on y-axis and year on x-axis.
Na
Ma'am, numbers on y-axis.
numbers on y-axis. Can you tell me what is y-axis, vertical or horizontal?
Ma'am, vertical.
Vertical. So you are drawing this y, this x, right?
Yeah.
So okay, numbers you are representing. Okay, you are going to write here, you are telling.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So how are you going to take these numbers? There should be some measurement. Yes, y-axis is equal to scale. You know what it is, right? How many centimeters you will be taking? Tell. Here it is 550, 350, 200. So till how many numbers you should take at least?
600.
600. It should be 600. Okay. So from which number you are going to start?
50.
Oh, that will be
100.
100. 100 will be better, I feel. 50 means it will be too long. Okay. So you can start 100 and 100. So how many centimeters you are going to take?
5.
One.
Like
One.
150.
Yeah. Huh? What is that? And 1 unit is equal to, I mean, this number, how are you going to represent? It should be 1 centimeter, right? Scale you are going to take how? Y-axis is equal to on what is the measurement I'm asking? That is
1
1
centimeter is
centimeter.
100.
Yeah. 100, yeah. 100 units you can take. I want everyone to draw and I will tell you to show through the camera, okay? I don't want anyone to simply sit like that. I should see no rough diagram here. Sanam, no rough diagram, not with pencil. And it should be kept for your, I mean, according to your, with your notes, okay? Akshay, are you drawing? No, Ellen, sorry. Ellen, are you drawing? He's looking at me as if he is very angry.
No.
Huh? And write the heading also for this, okay? What kind of diagram it is? It is simple bar diagram. Everyone will switch on the video for a minute. And even if you have network issue, you will show the diagram and you can, those who have problem, you can switch it off. It's okay. I hope you have written down the question, right? Shall I stop sharing? Ellen, did you write? Hmm? Yes, right. Did written. Ellen. So some of them have joined now only. Okay, let me share the screen now. 1 minute. You can write it down. What is given? It is for preparing a bar diagram. Here you can represent the numbers. You can represent humanities, commerce, science. Anybody completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did? Abhilash? Okay, just show that. No, I can't. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, that is correct. Oh, you have got a good page for using. Okay, that's correct. So humanities, if you color it, that will be more differentiating. Humanities for one color, commerce for another color, science another color. What about others? Ellen completed?
Yes.
Okay, just show that. Did you complete? Okay, very good. Shading is done. Okay, this shading, you can use a different shading. I mean, lines for all you have done. You can use different pattern for that. That will be more differentiating. Okay, now, Pranav. Show. Okay, you can use some sort of shading or pattern that will be better. Okay. Alan Thomas, did you complete?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show? What happened? What happened, Alan? Yeah, just no, it is not visible. Different types of different width you have used or what, Alan?
Ma'am, I didn't use scale.
You didn't use the scale. That's what you're telling. Huh? If you are using same, so next I'll show you the picture related to it. This diagram, it is represented. This gap, there is no problem, even if there are some differences, but the bar when you are using, it should be of same width. That will be better. Okay. Here you can use different colors also for different bars to differentiate the number of students in humanities and commerce and science. Now, who else? I didn't ask any girls. Yeah. Yes, Shaloni. Wait. Put it up. Little more up. Okay, that's correct. Correct. Sayujia, finished? Sayujia,
Yes, ma'am.
finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just put it up. Okay, done. Good. Okay, then what about one person? Yeah, Abdul Aman. Abdul Aman.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, have you done?
No, ma'am.
No. Why?
One minute.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just at least see how it is done and please do it and I want to see. Anish, finished? Okay, done. Yes. Let me take attendance. Abdul, afterwards I will ask you. Okay. Abdul Aman, Alan, Thomas,
Ma'am, present.
Alan Verghese,
Present.
Anish, Aparna, Krishnakanti, Krishnanunni,
Present, ma'am.
Naveen, Akshay, Pavitra, Pranav,
Present, ma'am.
Rahul, present. Roseanne,
Present, ma'am.
Sayujia, present. Vinay, Vishnu,
Present, ma'am.
finished? Vishnu?
No, ma'am, only half.
Okay, I will ask you in the next period, okay? Abhiram? Abhijit? Abhilash? Present. Amal? Amal absent. Basuri? Kevin? Absent. Omar? Absent. Sanam? Present. Sandra? Okay, then, bye everyone. Next, one more period is there. So in that period, we'll continue. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.